What if I told you that being smart isn't enough to succeed? There was a brilliant student who failed until he discovered one simple secret. Let me tell you Ryan's story. Ryan was the smartest kid in his small town. Everyone knew it. His teachers praised him constantly, and his parents were so proud. Ryan had big dreams. He wanted to become a doctor. He had the intelligence, he had the potential, and he definitely had the ambition. But Ryan had one serious problem that was destroying his future. He couldn't control his mind. Every single day was the same struggle. Ryan would sit down at his desk, open his books, and tell himself, "Today I'm going to study hard," but within minutes, his mind would start wandering. First, he'd check his phone. Then Facebook would call to him. YouTube videos seemed so much more interesting than chemistry formulas. And when he wasn't on his devices, he'd simply daydream about his future success without actually working toward it. "There's plenty of time," he'd tell himself. "I'll study later," but that later never came. His parents tried to help. His teachers gave him advice. They all said the same thing. "Ryan, you need to focus. You need discipline." But Ryan didn't listen. He believed that smart people didn't need to work hard. He thought his natural intelligence would be enough to carry him through. Then came the scholarship exam. Ryan needed this scholarship badly. It would make his dream of medical school so much easier. He walked into that exam room confident, maybe even a little arrogant. After all, he was the smart kid, right? When the results came out, Ryan's world collapsed. He had failed. Completely failed. Meanwhile, his friends' students, he considered less intelligent than himself, had passed with excellent scores. What was their secret? They studied regularly. They had discipline. They had focus. The teachers who once praised Ryan now looked at him differently. He could see the disappointment in their eyes. That evening, Ryan sat alone in his room, feeling absolutely ashamed. For the first time in his life, he understood something crucial. Being smart means nothing without discipline. That night, Ryan made a life-changing decision. He needed help, but not just any teacher. He needed someone who could teach him how to control his restless mind. He found Coach Miller. Coach Miller wasn't just a physical education teacher. He was known throughout the school for transforming unfocused students into disciplined achievers. People said he had a special gift for helping young people develop mental strength and self-control. Ryan approached Coach Miller nervously. "Coach, I have a problem. When I sit down to study, my mind jumps everywhere. I can't concentrate on anything for more than a few minutes. Can you help me?" Coach Miller looked at Ryan with understanding eyes and smiled gently. "Controlling your mind isn't easy, Ryan, but it's definitely possible. Come with me. Let me show you something important." They walked to the school playground together. Coach Miller brought out a bow and arrow from the equipment room. He set up a target board across the field and handed Ryan the bow. "If you can hit the center of that board, I'll know you understand focus," Coach Miller said. Ryan pulled back the arrow and released it. The arrow flew through the air and missed the target completely. "What were you looking at when you shot?" Coach Miller asked. "Everything," Ryan admitted. "The trees, the field, other students, the board." "Exactly," Coach Miller said. "That's your problem right there. You're trying to look at everything at once. A skilled archer only sees one thing, the target. Nothing else exists in that moment. Ryan, your mind is exactly the same way. Right now, you're looking at your phone, social media, YouTube, your friends, everything around you. But if you want to achieve your goal, when it's time to study, you must see only your studies, nothing else." Ryan felt like someone had just turned on a light in a dark room. He finally understood. But understanding and doing are two different things. "Coach, where do I start? How do I become disciplined?" Ryan asked desperately. Coach Miller sat down on the bench and shared 4 simple rules. First, control your thoughts. Every time your mind wanders, bring it back. Tell yourself, "This is my study time. I must focus now." Second, create a routine. Make a daily schedule and stick to it. Decide your study hours and rest hours. Your brain will learn to follow this pattern. Third, remove all distractions. Your phone is your enemy during study time. Turn it off. Delete useless apps. Create a clean study environment. Fourth, practice every single day. Discipline isn't built overnight. Small daily habits create big changes over time. This is the real secret to mental strength. Ryan listened carefully to every word. That very day, he created a strict schedule for himself. He bought a simple alarm clock and left his phone in another room while studying. Every time his mind started to wander, he would stop, take a deep breath, and remind himself, "My goal is to become a doctor. Nothing else matters right now." The first week was incredibly difficult. His hands would reach for his phone automatically. His mind would rebel against the routine. But Ryan didn't give up. The second week was slightly easier. The third week, even better. After a month, something amazing happened. Ryan could study for 2 hours straight without any distraction. His focus became sharper. His memory improved. The material that once seemed boring now became interesting because he was actually paying attention. A few months later, another important exam arrived. This time, Ryan was different. He was prepared. He was focused. He was disciplined. When the results came out, Ryan didn't just pass. He came in first place. First place. The same boy who had failed just months earlier was now at the top. Ryan knew this wasn't luck. It wasn't even his intelligence. It was his discipline. It was his ability to control his mind and direct it toward his goals. A year later, Ryan stood on stage receiving a prestigious scholarship. As he held that certificate in his hands, he remembered Coach Miller's words. "The mind is like a wild horse. If you don't control it, it will drag you wherever it wants. But if you train it properly, it will take you exactly where you need to go." From that day forward, Ryan lived by one simple principle: train your mind with discipline, and success will follow. So here's my question for you. Is your mind a trained horse taking you toward your goals, or a wild horse dragging you in random directions? Remember, you might be the smartest person in the room, but without discipline, that intelligence means nothing. Start today. Start small. Control your thoughts. Create a routine. Remove distractions, and practice every single day. Your future self will thank you. If this story inspired you, I have many more stories that will help you on your English learning journey. Click that subscribe button and join our community. Let's learn English together through powerful stories that change lives. See you in the next story. Keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep disciplining that mind of yours.